Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Frontiers. This morning we're meeting up with a local paddle group, the Potawatomi Paddlers, and we're planning on doing a paddle from Stateline, Indiana to Momence. I think it's the 4th Street boat ramp. Should be a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite routes. It covers a lot of the natural wetlands area, and it's kind of a historical area because at this bridge they stopped the dredges back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, when they were straightening out the sections of the river for irrigation in Indiana. It's a pretty fun trip. This is going to be an edited or a non-edited video. Excuse me for that. Anyways, it normally takes about 3 or 4 hours. So if that sounds like something you're interested in joining me on, hit that like and subscribe button. And also, I'm going to have to put my camera in a waterproof case, as it is supposed to rain off and on all day long. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time if any of the sound or anything is muffled as we go along and enjoy this paddle. Alright, we'll see you guys out there. Yep. We're gonna have to go in between the beams, and we should be able to crouch down just a little bit to get under it. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I came under here one time with a couple of buddies, and we pretty much had to lay down in our kayaks to get under there. But this should just be crouch a little bit. Yep. Yep. No more bridges. And we're going to want to go to the left. Yeah. Yeah, I can. Right. Oh yeah, no. Whoever can be in the front, we're just not gonna go up anything that's not as wide as the main river. To be honest, I'm not sure. Yeah, I know it varies. I'm familiar with this area as far as like paddling out here, but I don't ever really come out here and fish or anything to really know how wide or how deep it is. Right. I got a couple of poles in the truck, and I was debating on whether or not I should bring one with, and then I was like, no, I'll just hold off. No. Yeah, this is probably number 2 of my favorite areas to paddle around here. The first one is Rock Creek, but I think the club normally gets some kind of permission or something to go paddle there because it's right near Payne Sod Farm, and then we take out at Rock Creek Park. And I know a lot of that area is like private on both sides, so I think the group kind of gets permission occasionally to go over there. Yeah, yep. Yeah, but a lot of this out here is like the wetlands hunting and stuff like that, so I think the bigger part of it should be like a state park or like state funded. Yeah. Yeah, but before I paddled the Rock Creek Park paddle, this was my favorite. Oh yeah. 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 Those are always my favorite. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like paddling wherever I can, whether it be residential area or whatever, but my favorite is like this kind of setting. Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Right. I'm actually going to be up in the Cook County area tomorrow doing some kayak fishing. I'm going to be on Powderhorn Lake. No, I think it's connected to Wolf Lake or something, or recently connected. The guy says it's in a town or a neighborhood called Hedgewick or Hedgewich or something. Yeah, I don't know, but I used to work with the guy, and he's been talking it up for 2 years. So I'm like, well, I hope it's as good as you're saying it is, because, yeah, better than a good day on the couch. So, my wife has a sit-on-top kayak, and I had bought it for her a couple years back because she's scared to be in a sit-in. So I bought her one, and it's got a chair similar to this, right? But she never lets me use it. And she would always give me a hard time if I was like, hey, do you mind if I use your kayak? Yeah, so I was like, well, that's it. I'm getting tired of asking you. So I just went out and bought this one. Occasionally she does. Like this kind of length paddle that we're doing right now, she will not do. She's got some back issues and stuff, so it's hard on her. Yeah. And hers is pretty similar, and you can adjust it. Say if it starts getting to where it's leaned too far back, you can tighten the straps up. But Yeah, I got lucky and caught this one on sale. It was like 700 and something bucks. But I recently started getting more into kayak fishing. And on this one, I can stand up. Yeah, so, yeah. I haven't tried casting like that yet, and I haven't caught a fish standing up on it, but it is stable enough that if, for whatever reason, I get uncomfortable or if I gotta grab something from up there, I can stand up and do that. Yeah, for the most part it is. Oh, no, that's fine. Some of the members of this group, they get on the water and they're like, paddle, 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 and, you know, right around the first bend, then they're gone, and I don't see them through the rest of the thing. And there's a couple of other guys that hang in the back. I normally hang in the back and just make sure everybody's, you know, on track or not getting somewhere where they shouldn't be or whatever. And, what's that? It varies. On a good day, we can have 15 plus people. On a bad day, we've got 2, 3. Yeah. No, well, no, I would hope not. Part of the wetlands that remain. Yeah. Yeah. My first time out paddling, I had a pretty bad experience too. But I learned a lot from it, and I was completely by myself. And I ended up having to carry my kayak on my shoulder 5 miles back to Bourbonnais. And I went out in like flood level water and thought I would be able to paddle back up against. And I had the wrong kind of kayak. I had a sit-in, but I didn't know that it was a youth kayak. So I was already too heavy for it, and I ended up dumping it. But after that, I started doing a little bit of research, and I think I was at the Friendship Festival, and I came across this group. They had one of their information tents or whatever set up. Yep. Yep. So I joined the group, and I started coming along on the paddles, and over the last, how long have I been a member now? Anyways, over the last few years, I've paddled the whole stretch of the Kankakee from where we started here in Indiana, or near Indiana, all the way out to Wilmington. So now I take like friends and stuff out, and I've upgraded my kayaks and, you know, got them for the kids and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But it's a pretty good group of people. Everybody's really friendly. You know, everybody's pretty knowledgeable. We hold training events. I actually attended one in the beginning of May as a representative of the group, because we just kind of sponsor it, right? And I guess everybody else was unavailable, but it was pretty nice. Yeah, maybe not, but I did it, and I learned how to do assisted and self-rescues on the water. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes. It's hard. Yeah. Right. Well, like, and the one that I attended was kayak touring, right? So the instructor had touring kayaks. So the principles are the same, but the things that you do are a little different. Like, if your kayak fills up with water, we can still do the same kind of thing, but it's going to be a slightly different process. Yeah. Well, you could, but thankfully, you know, we're near banks, so if that ends up happening, yeah, you know, we'll just pull it over and we'll stop somewhere and we'll get it drained out and get back on. But yeah, as far as like lakes and stuff go, you know, then I probably would have brought a bilge pump with me in case. And yeah, right. Yeah, but kayaks get real heavy when they start filling up with water. I was in it's a little, I think it's called the Pelican Mustang 100X or something like that, right? And then I like the shorter kayaks, 10 feet and under, because they're more maneuverable. You know, they're not very fast. Um, I'd say 8.5, 9. Well, it's got a Prodigy 10 on there, but that doesn't look like it's 10 feet. Could be. But yeah, I like the shorter ones though, because they're more maneuverable. A lot more responsive. The longer ones, they tend to be faster, which is cool too, I guess, but yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. It looks like a nice setup. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think the same thing about, wow, there we go. I hope my camera got that. This is just a change. There are a lot of little islands in the river, but we're just gonna keep heading left. Yep. Yep. I'm just hoping we don't run into anything that, like any log jams or anything that we gotta cross. Yeah. Yeah, it was a log that I hit my first time too. Trying to paddle back up around the current, and then a wave caught me right into it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, PFDs are right. Oh yeah, it's definitely scary. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, a little bit. We got some current that's pushing us a bit, but there's also a lot of logs that are changing everything too. Yep. So you can see where the current's going and where it's going to bring you. You know, is like when you, yeah, gonna want to. I mean, in some cases, I don't think we'll have to on this trip, but in some cases, you got to find the seams in between those things to keep going. And then other times, it's just better to avoid them entirely. See, like right through there, I'm hoping we don't run across anything like that. But as long as we don't go up in, because there's a lot of backwaters and like little lagoons and feeder creeks. So as long as we just stay on the track where we don't go up anything that's not as wide as the main river, we'll be on track. Yep. Well, as your confidence builds and you get a little better and comfortable at it, there's no reason why you can't. We see eagles out here quite a bit too. No, I'm not sure who's actually in charge of the Facebook page for the group. Yeah. I do post a lot for other local groups though, like the River Rats page, which is like a fishing page, and then there's a couple other kayak groups that I'm on. Then I like to post a lot of videos and photos for them too. Oh yeah? Yeah. Well, it's definitely a good way to paddle with people and, build your comfortable level up and get to know the river quite a bit. Oh, you're fine. Yeah. Well, you gotta, where mine's a little wider. No. I like paddling through here in the fall too. As all the foliage starts to change, it is beautiful. I don't know. It might. If you like set it for 4th Street or something, and then, because there are options, right? I know you can set them for like hiking and biking and driving and stuff, but I'm not sure if they have one for boats. I've never really paid attention, but yeah. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't. Say if you said it like you were hiking through here or something, then it probably would. I've never tried it, but yeah, this stretch of the river in particular, like even once we get towards the takeout and stuff, there's the main body, and then it shoots back up into like little feeder creeks and backwaters. Yeah. Yep. No. We're gonna stop well before the dam. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they got signs posted on the water, so as you approach it, it'll say, do not enter, and say dam or something, or use the left side. Yeah, so it's definitely posted. Yeah. Right. I don't know. They might have no motor rules. Yeah. No, but the sands and stuff always change over here too every year. Like one bar might disappear and another one pops up somewhere else. Yeah, definitely. supposed to rain very heavy all day. It's just supposed to be off and on light rain. I think the total accumulation for the day was like 3/4 of an inch. I'm hoping so. I like coming across some of these properties where people have like a tree on the river, like decked out with a bench or lights or nice little things. Or some of the little shack looking places along here are pretty interesting. Yeah. Yeah, some of these look pretty decrepit along the way. Oh yeah? Yeah. I think I've driven past there, but as far as like recognizing it from the river, I probably wouldn't. I think going under that bridge this morning was a little sketchier than Frank was thinking initially.
I mean, I was like, it's not happening. How do I get away
Yeah.
from it? And then the current was so fast, I was like, well, you can't.
Yeah.
You have to do it.
There was a time when me and my friends came out and our kayaks. No, I didn't.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But I had maybe enough room to fit my hand in between there from going. I do not like doing that stuff.
Yeah, my son was on a lake, and we go out there every once in a while, and there's a bridge that you have to literally get underneath the boat, like not the underneath the boat, but you know, be level with the
Yeah.
rim. Otherwise, you're not gonna get through it. It's so gross, and there's so many birds in there, and all that bird shit.
Yeah. There's a few spots where I go fishing in the kayaks, and to get from one side to another, there's little bridges that you have to go under, but you kind of just do this and you're under. You know, not like laying down, like, yeah. Oh, I had to. I had to lay down. Yeah. I was wondering if it was going to bump, but it probably came pretty close. I didn't really look, though. Well, then I would have had to swim and then get back in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can take it all the way out of here if I want to. You know, to be on that location, I don't know. I've never been over that way to give it a shot. I don't think so. I think Indiana is just west of that. Yeah, so I think that's still Illinois, but I'm not sure what neighborhood or what street would lead you from that side of Momence into there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, really? No kidding. Yeah, I've never even accessed this river from that side before. Yeah. that was not thunder. I hope it wasn't. Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, I definitely didn't see anything in the weather that said anything about storms. Is it? Nice. Yeah. Yeah, we've already passed by a lot of those little creeks and backways, and I have heard about people getting lost out here.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do it by myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you could. I mean, some of the little islands and stuff, the main thing is just to not go up into anything, you know what I mean? And there are some areas where signs are posted about, you know, it gets into a residential area or something like that. I don't know. No, my wife and I were looking at a house over off of Gregg Boulevard, I believe it was, and the little house there was a little stretch of river or something, and it was like a resident only area. And I was thinking, I was like, as familiar I am with this part of the river, I have no idea where this is. I know that there's a campground that we pass, and I think it's called Lake Alexander or something, and we pass that when we get a little closer to the takeout.
Yes, that's where it is. The next thing after.
Oh yeah. Oh well, we're still quite a ways away then. I always wonder what happens to the upkeep. Like, did people just get too old? Did they lose interest? Did they're, you know? Oh wow. Oh yeah. What's that? No. I was gonna fish the area, but when I first got here, Frank was the only person, and he was like, "It looks like it might be a cancellation." I'm like, "Well, what's gonna be the determining factor?" And he was like, "Well, I guess we'll see who shows up and who doesn't." So I'm happy you guys showed up, because I had been looking forward to it. They had asked me to lead this trip, and I never really said that I would or wouldn't. And I assumed that Frank was going to get the signatures and that he was going to participate, and I was just going to let him do his thing, because he's the president, So yeah, I'm just a board member, but I go out and I don't have a problem taking people out. I take people out aside from the club, but being that I had it in my mind that I was going to be on the water, I was going to be disappointed if I drove out here to just fish a little bit and not get out. I paddle in the winter. I paddle all year long. Yep. As long as stuff's not frozen over, I'm on the water doing something. And if I can't be on the water, I still try to be outside doing something. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's nice. I like, even though it's cold, if you're prepared for the conditions, you're just fine. And then you got the whole place to yourself, and it's like a different experience, Right. Yeah, my friends, the first time I took some of my buddies out, they're like, "You don't paddle in the winter?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I go all the time. I'll show you." I was like, "I got plenty of kayaks. I'll take you guys out." And I gave them instructions on, what kind of stuff to wear. I tell them wear thinner, light layers, because you don't want to be in like full-on heavy winter gear in case something does happen, because then you're just that much heavier. But I took them out, and we were able to access a little creek out in Aroma Park that normally is too low to get through. So it was like an island, and we paddled out around there. Some of the edges of the water were frozen still. They were like, "I will never forget this." Yeah, so some of them, they still go paddle in the cold with me. I've got some friends that are like, I'm not going. And I'm like, that's fine, whatever. We'll be ready for you when it warms up, I guess. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you're prepared and you pay attention to what you're doing, you ought to be just fine. Yeah, sometimes. I pride myself on being able to stay dry when I want to be. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think so. Oh, yeah? It might be. Yeah. They shouldn't be. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Yeah. What? Yeah, that'd be really cool. No, no. You know, I get so wrapped. I recently, well, last year, I started using bait casters, and I started getting all of these different little techniques. And the more I'm diving into it, the more I find there's more to get into. And I'm like, that's the last thing I need to, have my wife. Now you're spending more money on fishing gear. And, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I really enjoy it. I got a collection of spinners and bait casters, and my wife's like, well, why do you need so many of them? And I'm like, well, I got them set up for different purposes, different lures, and depending on where I'm going to fish or how I'm going to be fishing, I'll bring those specific ones. Or now that I started fishing these bass tournaments, it's helpful to have a lot of those, because you're trying to fish almost non-stop, right? You're trying to be as efficient as possible. So if I can set one down and pick one up and it's ready to go, that could lead to me winning, So she's like, oh, I guess, all right. Blah, blah. No. In fact, I did really bad in the first one. I ended up getting on the board. I caught 2 tournament fish the second day. The first day, because I don't own a bass boat, but the club that I joined, they pair boaters with non-boaters, and everybody's real nice and pretty cool about letting you get on their boat with them and whatever. And so anyways, as soon as we got to the first spot the first day, first cast, I caught a nice sized crappie. And I was like, all right. And the guy I was in the boat with, he was like, oh, so he thought that was going to set the tone for the day. Even though he was a crappie and not a bass. I was like, okay, so second cast, I got onto a bass, and he was jumping and fighting like crazy. and he spit my little micro jig so fast. And then the rest of the day, the next 8.5 hours, I didn't, not even so much as a bite. It's crazy. But we were down in Jacksonville, Illinois, on Lake Jacksonville. It's about 3 hours south of here. Uh, and it's a slot protected lake. So anything between 14 and 18 inches you couldn't use. So a lot of guys were catching some fish that fell in the slot. So the majority of the fish that got weighed and anything like that for the tournament fell at like 13 3/4 and under. So in order to use it, they imposed a rule where it had to be at least 10 inches. So then the second day, I caught one on an ultralight rod that I had set up because I was power fishing. I was trying everything. Nothing was working. I was like, well, I'm going to try the trusty old ultralight. And I got on the one right before the first weigh-in. And then I caught one maybe like an hour before the last weigh-in. And I was like, well, at least I didn't get skunked and I had a good time. I got to learn a lot. I got to see how these things operate, So it was pretty interesting. They have a tournament every month starting in April through October. And they travel all over the place and do all kinds of things. But I'm not going to be able to make the one for this month because my wife's uncle has a thing, and she was like, he's getting kind of old and he doesn't think he's going to be around. And I was like, all right, well. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah? Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. No, I'm pretty sure this is where we're gonna go right. Well, it's a little different than when it's lower. Well, yeah, where we were first at. Yeah. I do have my phone. Yeah, no, we're going right. So we're gonna want to. This is like a changeover area, or is it? It's gotta be it. That almost doesn't look like it opens up, does it? Well, we can get around the logs and stuff. Yeah, we'll go right here. Yeah, that leads us back into some residential stuff. Just paddle hard and try to stay to the right. We'll be alright. Oh, So do you have to like pedal those and then they have a throttle, or? Oh yeah, that's really cool. My uncle out in Arizona runs a club that's all about e-bikes and all that stuff. He seems like he likes it pretty good. They do like 25-mile races and all this stuff. Holy cow. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of little islands and stuff. I'm just thinking, as long as, like I said, if we stay on the main river body and we don't go up anything that's wider, we should end up back out at 4th Street. And it, yeah, more likely than not. Yeah, it's not too hard. Yeah. No, definitely not. Well, that, and like, I've got a phone on me. If we ran into like real problems or something, you know, we could do that, or there's any number of things. But it's not like we've gone up or into any of the backwaters or anything. There are certain things that I'm looking for out here that I think are a little different than the last time I was out here. Like that exchange that we went through where that current picked up. I do know that we always go right there, but it looked different, than the last time I was out here. Uh, I can't say for certain. It's possible, but no, yeah, no, we're still on track. This is that thing I was talking about, that bench where the tree came out over the water. Yeah, so we're still in good shape. I would think so, as long as you don't go too far. Again, it's a thing about not going where where it's not as wide as the river, right? So like, if you can see that it stays pretty much the same, or you can see the end of an island or something, then yeah, you can go whichever way you want. But like if you paddle up into the little creeks, and then that's where I think people get in trouble. Yeah, and yeah, it gets a little tricky, and all of this looks different just a little bit every year. Yeah, like there are a lot of new down trees, different areas. Some of the houses look a little different from different perspectives. I'm sure you could. I would think though, if it was people's property, you'd probably have to have their permission, but yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. And there are a lot of boaters and stuff that come out here pretty regular.
No? Yeah.
Yeah.
So fascinating. So now I'm wondering if we're ever going to pass this shadow line, or if it just is a different part of the.
If it's farther south than Lake Alexander, that RV club, I don't think we're going to. Or
It's on the same street as that Lake Alexander. So we're going to. Seems like we should have done it already, but I don't know. How far do you
I don't know. We might be about halfway. To be honest, I didn't check the time when we got in, or
It was like 9:30ish.
when we got in. Yeah. Yeah, like see, like that kind of stuff. I have no idea where that goes, but that leads back into something. Yeah. Really? Wow. Yeah. Is it? I like that little cabin there. I like that a lot. Yeah, the little log one. That was really cool with those deer earlier. I've only seen deer like that, like in the water, one other time before, and that was out just past Warner Bridge Road in those islands. I was out canoeing and kayaking with a couple of friends, and we went to the left side because I hadn't been that way, and I think we spooked them. So then they were like galloping through the river to, you know, like island hop. I had no idea that they even went out on those little islands. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder too if maybe, because November's hunting season, if they don't move out to those islands because they, you know, they feel the pressure in the area or what, but I thought that was really cool. I was like, that's some National Geographic type stuff right there. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One day I was walking with my sister and it was like really just getting to the dusk and I looked up and there was a whole herd of deer in the woods.
Nice.
And I was like, oh my God, they were all like, don't tell me, gotta go in here.
Probably something like that. I know my camera battery hasn't said that it's dead yet, unless I didn't hear it because it's in this case. But I know that it'll run for 2.5 hours with the settings that I have on it now. I don't think we've been out here that long. I'm only a third of the way through the battery. This is one of them. I think it's 114. Yeah.
The north side of the state line, right there. If you wanted to come from the other side.
If you want to, we can. Yeah, anytime we can stop wherever, stretch legs, we can do whatever you guys want to do. might. How do you have even pressure on your foot pedals in there? Because that'll change the direction of the boat. Also, if your paddle rhythm gets a little out of line, or if you go deeper. Oh yeah. Huh. Yeah. I don't know. Looks like they got part of it sectioned off, maybe as like a swim area or something. Yeah. 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 When I look at houses and stuff out here, I wonder what happens in the winter, right? Because some of these roads are dirt roads. I'm like, do they get snowed in? Do they get trapped? Like, I'm sure they get in trouble with work if they're missing a bunch of work because they're snowed in or something, you know? Yeah. Yeah. A wood stove? Yeah. Right. I mean, if I bought a house out here, I'd want to live out here all year round. I love this kind of stuff. I think it would be hard for me to go to work. I'd be wanting to be fishing or paddling around, exploring, or in season, I'd be out trying to hunt. My wife would probably get mad at me. Yeah. Yeah. There's a heron. That's a crane. For the most part. Yeah. That's how I am. I get the general idea of what it's supposed to do, and then I'll pack my gear accordingly. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm doing something, nothing's stopping me. I'm just gonna go. Yeah. Makes me a little jealous. Right. Right. One of the guys in the club has a friend that lives out here, and she gets on the water, paddles against current, and then she just kind of drifts back down. And they were saying like almost every day. I would love to be able to get super familiar with this area, you know, like know the little in and outs, the little inlets, and right. I know when it's ideal for boats, some of the guys that come through here act like assholes.
Right.
Came out 2 or 3 years ago with a few of my friends, and we stopped along the bank, and we were going through a no wake zone, and there were all kinds of people on inner tubes, and you know there was a lot of down trees and dead wood that was hanging up in the water. This dude came flying through there probably about as fast as his boat would go, and created so much wake that on the shore, because I was sitting in a kayak similar to yours, the water came up over my back end and got water in my cockpit. And then a couple of the ladies that were floating in the tubes, not that they were with our party or whatever, but you know they were floating, the wave got pushed up into that dead wood and it popped the lady's inflatable. I was like, I hope we see this guy at the boat ramp. I hope we do, because I'm going to say something to him. I love big windows like that. Like natural lighting.
What is that direction?
I wouldn't even know right now. I mean, I think technically we're going west. Technically, because we had to go east to get to Stateline, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, me either. Yeah. I was out at the Lakes of Amazonia. A couple of friends and I were fishing. We were trying out a new lake on the north unit, and it was so windy. I couldn't, like, I have this set up that I could put an anchor on it, and I was out there, I was getting pushed along. Thankfully, we found a little cove or like an inlet, and we paddled up in there to get out of the wind and do some fishing, but it was bad. It was really bad. I'm like, this is crazy. It was cold for one, and the wind just like non-stop. Not usually, because with this here, I can set a position, so like it'll still play the wind a little bit, but I can make the wind work in my favor, depending on where I want to be set up. Yeah, so I can, let me unlock this here. When I got the anchor set up, yeah, so I got little pulleys set up on it, so I can bring it all the way to the front or to the back, and then I can make it work for me. But no, just on this side. Yeah, I've also got a fish finder that I use these rails on, so I set my fish finder, like the actual transom arm or the sonar or whatever, I have that set up off of here, and then I mount the screen or the actual device right here, so I can just kind of sit here, but that's why I've got the anchor on this side. Yeah, for those big bass tournaments, those are for guys with bass boats. But even the Kayak Bass League, and I think there's another group called KBN or Kayak Bass Nation, those guys got some kayaks that are more expensive than used cars. Oh no. Well, then you just try to use things like points, or you would look for like points or down trees or weed and grass edges. Then you got to go back to doing it the old school way. I've only actually used my fish finder once, but I like it on lakes that I'm not familiar with, because you can set waypoints and mark pins with your GPS, and it'll also tell you the depth of the water and water temperature. What's that? All the way to the bottom. Yep, and I got it set up that it'll tell me with a black line, it'll be a thicker black line if it's a solid bottom, and it'll be a thin black line if it's like soft bottom. So I know if I want to, like, say throw a deep dive crankbait down there because it's rocks or something, or if I want to throw like a little jig head or something down there because it's soft. And it'll also mark the plants and stuff. But I think it's really cool. It doesn't tell you exactly where the fish are, and presumably with it being mounted right here, it's marking what's underneath me at that point in like a conical shape, right? So the deeper the water, there's more variance on where they could be, but it'll at least give you an idea of where the fish are and the depth of the water that you're fishing, which is a big plus. Because if you don't know, it makes it tough. It'll tell you the water temperature. Oh no, they'll still show up. They still leave a heat signature. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't think it matters that much, because they still eat and do all kinds of stuff when they're moving. They got to do stuff. But I think they are more active in certain water temperatures. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah, and then you would switch up your techniques too. You know, like you would fish smaller gear, more sensitive gear, because they're not going to be hitting your bait as hard, you know. I think too, different species tend to be more active in different water temperatures. Yeah, yeah. Like walleye, I think, are more active when it's cooler than bass. Uh, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm still learning a lot and trying to figure things out. I like to say I only really got serious about it, not that I'm serious about it in any way, but as like a hobby, you know, getting out and learn things and try different things fairly recently. Like, well, yeah, but that's just to see how it's done, you know. It's not like I'm, no, not necessarily. It'd be nice for sure, but I'm not going out there and spending like $1,000 to enter some tournament and fish against, you know, really serious guys. I'm just in it to go to new places and check stuff out and maybe learn some stuff from some of these guys, which is a lot of fun. Yeah. I bet that was a beautiful house at one point. And they had nice access to the river, nice little staircase. Oh yeah. Yeah, it makes me wonder why people don't want to keep up on stuff. But like you were saying earlier, you know, it's not always like they have an option to or can afford to or whatever, but it's just sad. Oh yeah, what do they call it? Life after people or something like that? Yeah. And they're like, I thought a lot of bridges would stay around for a long, long time. I think some of them were saying like after 25 years and not having maintenance, bridges are collapsing and like nature is reclaiming a lot of stuff. They could be turtles, could be fish. I think it's stuff falling out of the tree too. Yeah. Ooh, there's a bunch of turkey tail on that tree. Turkey tail? That's really old turkey tail, but it's a little mushroom. It's edible. I started this year getting into mushroom hunting with a buddy of mine, and we found some pheasant back, and you can eat it raw or you can cook it up. I tried it both ways. It is really good, sauteed in butter. Just a little bit of butter with a little bit of garlic powder. That is so good. Oh yeah? Oh man. I looked for morels for like 2 or 3 weeks this year and wasn't able to find any that were fresh. Yeah. Yeah. Lucky. That stuff is delicious. I love morels. I kind of want to dehydrate some and eat them like a snack, But in the past, I've sauteed them up. Yeah, I saw it. There was one overhead not too long ago, or a crane or something. Was it white? I thought it looked great to me. Oh yeah. It is really shallow right here. Oh, now there's a deep drop. Bet there's some fish in there. So we gotta go right through here. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it makes it hard when I had a buddy and I took him on my canoe and he was trying to like power stroke and do all kinds of things. I'm like, dude, you don't have to do that. We're just drifting along, you know. And then our friends that were in kayaks were having a hard time keeping up. And then like, you know, he was drinking or whatever. And after that trip, I was like, look, bro, if you're coming out with me, you can't, no more drinking on your trips, dude. And it's early in the morning. Like, why are you even concerned with that? But anyways, yeah, so I decided throughout the day that I was just going to make it hard on him for doing stuff that he shouldn't be doing in the front, and then I did. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my buddy Dan said that he was a Boy Scout and, you know, he knew all this stuff, but he was just making it hard. And I'm like, not sure that I believe him anymore. Not that he was a Boy Scout, but, you know, that he had all kinds of experience and stuff. No, definitely not. Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, I do this stuff quite a bit too. Yeah. Man, those trees smell really good. What did you say it was called again? Catalpa. Yeah. Catalpa. What's that? No. Oh, are you talking about avoiding this current? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I like when when you feel the current, or like when you feel cross currents, and then you like when we went through that little exchange and all those logs, you could feel one coming this way, the other coming that. Yeah, it's exciting. Well, then you get stuck. Well, you're pretty adventurous. You came out to kayak a part of the river in the rain, and you laid down in your kayak to get under a bridge. I'd say that's pretty adventurous. it's not bad at all. And, you know, I'm happy that the rain, although it's been fairly steady, has not been heavy. Are you getting like drip from your paddle? Oh yeah. I think these are really cool too. These old trussel or whatever they call them. Usually reeds, their trips go from like the south side of Moments or like River Road out towards Aroma Park. Yeah, they don't come this way. Yeah, because their trips, they don't have guides on their trips either. They just kind of, here you go, we'll pick you up in 6 or 12 miles or whatever it is. I don't think so. This guy, he went right in between the middle of this one. Yeah. You'll be fine. I gotta figure out where I'm going before I don't have time. I do. Yeah. Would you like to hit a bank or something for a minute? Kind of stretch out a little bit? It's not a problem. Yeah. Yep. Well, in shallow water, it's easier, you know, because it'll be rocks and different things, and you can see it on the top of the water. Yeah. Yeah, we couldn't ask for flatter water. So I was telling Frank, he was like, I think this is like a 2.5 hour. Nah, I don't think so, buddy. Cause like out here, this is swelled up over the banks quite a bit. It's not like it is deep. It doesn't seem to me that it's real deep through here anywhere. You know, to really have like a big current when it's whatever. But it seems like it, you know, when it flows over the banks, it doesn't really change what the current's like. Because I've been out here when it's pretty shallow, or when it's been dry for a while, and it doesn't seem like it's that different. Kankakee starts in Indiana. I forget what town it originates in, but it starts in Indiana. Yeah, I got some hanging out. They're catching a ride in my bow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, those, I used to want a whitewater kayak real bad. And then after a while, I started looking for some. None the cheaper end, they were like $1,200. And I was like, man, maybe I can find a used one. People were still asking $700, $800. And then when I started fishing from kayaks, I was like, you know what? I like fishing from the kayaks a lot better than I would imagine. Although I think it would be fun. You know, it'd probably be a lot of fun. Well, it's open on either side. So it looks like the current's only, you know, that like breaks the current. So it's an eddy behind there, but you got that down tree on the left. So like I'm gonna stay on the right side. Was that a couple of finches? Did you see them? No. Damn, that's a whole tree. I was thinking it was just a stump. Yeah, it is. Looks like there's a rock or something in front of you right there. almost looks like the sun's trying to come out. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that first island that we passed, one of the first islands that had that cross on it, I think it was a story about a kid or something that got stuck out here and the water got real high during a storm or something and he died over there or something. Yeah, but yeah, no, it is, you know, like you've seen, there's a lot of things that kind of look like they're going to go somewhere and you get closer and they're like, no, those don't go anywhere. Or a lot of these little creeks, you know, I think sometimes people get overconfident with their navigational skills or something. They're like, oh yeah, I'll go back up in here a ways. Well, it looks different coming back than it does going in, you know. You think it affects their wings? Oh yeah. I love that show. Oh. I was debating whether or not to wear shorts because I was like, well, if I gotta put rain pants on, I might be a little toasty, but I'm really comfortable. I don't smell these ones as much as the other ones, but I love that smell. Yeah. I don't care if it comes out and everything dries up. I'm not cutting my grass today. I spent a bunch of time yesterday after I got off work. I was like, yeah, I'm going to cut the grass after I fix the self-propelled cable, and then that ended up being a whole adventure in itself. I went to the lawnmower shop and the guy was like, yeah, well, I really need a model number, based off of this. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna go get my mower, load it up, and then bring it over here. I was like, I just assumed you guys would sell cables and then I could do something. And he was like, well, we do, but we really need it. I'm like, no, I ain't doing that. And he was talking about, well, I need to order this and do that. So I went out and I bought some ferrules, little ones, and then I bought a couple of the bigger ones, and I bought some picture wire cable that has 100-pound strength on it, and it's encased in plastic. So what I did is I looped the broken part of the original cable back through one of those to make like an eyelet in it. And then with the second piece of cord, I did the thing similar to that, but I ran it through that hoop, then up back through and clamp into itself, right? No, this is the activate the self-propelled when I push the handle down. No, so I got it rigged up and it works good now. But I was not trying to cut the grass without that self-propelled thing. My yard's so lumpy. And I'm like, man, this is gonna take forever. And then I got a corner house, so I have to like edge the curb a little bit to get it to cut good. So trying to hold it in place while pushing it, having to physically push it probably wouldn't be very ideal. But with that little self-propelled part of it, it pushes itself and I just keep it straight. Yeah. Yeah, it's not fun. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we've avoided stuff like that. Yeah, it's definitely an obstacle. They can be pretty dangerous too. Definitely. They can go wrong real fast. think that might be the campground up there. Not 100%, but it kind of looks like it. Means we're getting towards the end of the trip, if that's the campground. I mean, there's still a little ways to go. I think so. Yeah. Yeah, so is Chippewa. We like going to the Chippewa one. Yeah, it's been the Chippewa one that's been closed. I think they were doing some kind of water works or some kind of whatever out there, but that's my favorite one to go to. And I got two favorite lots that I like to get if nobody else has got them, because it's right on the edge of the woods, and you can get down the little hill that's behind it and fish it's like a little slack water area where the water it just sits in there. It's off of the river a little bit, so it doesn't really flow with the current. What's that? I don't think so. It's just a little past Warner Bridge, and then, like, if you saw it, it would look like you were just passing a little creek opening or something. But if you paddled up in there, it comes to a dead end, and there's all kind of down trees and stuff in there. At Hunting Area 7, that boat launch. Yeah, on the south side of the river. So, yeah, it would be past the boat launch a little ways, yeah. Oh, yeah? Did you have any luck? One? Yeah. Oh, yeah? One year I went, and my son and we got off of the beaten trails in the state park and hiked deep into the woods. And we were following like mostly dry creek beds, dead tree areas, shaded areas. And we got to a part of the forest where it goes from being mostly like a deciduous forest, I think it's called, to like a pine forest area, right? So the trees changed. And I had heard before that that's supposed to be a good spot to find them. We didn't find any. In fact, we were in the woods so long, we got a little disoriented, and, we were out there for a long time. The very next day, my wife took our daughter to an event that her school was putting on at Shawanasi, and they were just walking, and they found me a bag full of morels right in the grass. I'm like, come on. I was like, yeah. I was like, me and Lou, we went and did everything we could possible to get some morels, and you girls just go do something, not even looking for them, and you stumble across a whole bag full. Or more, They probably could have got more if they wanted, but I was like, holy smokes. Yeah. Yeah. Right. You guys mind if we hit this bank over here somewhere? I gotta switch my batteries out in my SD card. Yeah, see where it's kind of got that little bit of a slope? Luckily it's not raining. I was thinking I would, like, if it died and if it had died and it was raining, I was just gonna not film any more of it. just a second. I'll pull you up a little bit if you want. You're up pretty good. You don't feel like you're drifting at all, do you? Okay. I'm okay. Thank you, though. That's good. I'm not too sure. You guys all set? Let me give you a hand. Alright, I see it. Well, thankfully paddles float. Nope. Thank you, though. Are they like the Trek pants? Yeah. I wouldn't think so. It does kind of look like it's tied, though. Yeah, or like a tube for people tubing. It'd probably make my video go viral. Can you what? Yeah, you definitely can. paracord? The paracord? Oh, yeah. PVC? So I'm going to hit the left side of this island. I'm pretty sure it loops around, so you can go whichever way, but I'm going to go the left side. Alright. Alright. I know by our takeout there's a little private cove, but oh, that's saying go that way, but I'm sure that's just for boat traffic. People are avoiding each side. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like it's just directing the traffic, yeah. I think that's a good idea. Right. Ooh, there's another one of those trees. Those things those smell so good. Is it? I don't know. Kind of looks like the other one. I forgot what he called them again. Yeah, catalpa. Is that a duck in the water up there? Nice. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, we don't have too much longer to go before we reach our takeout. It's always my least favorite part of the paddle is when I know we're coming to an end. Yeah, I'm going to be on the water tomorrow too, so. Fishing a new lake, new adventure. Yeah, I see him. I think you won! That's really nice. Yeah. You could put a mini fridge in that thing, I'm sure. Some of these houses along the river, on all parts of the river, are beautiful. There's one that looks like a compound in between River Road and Aroma Park, and it is gorgeous. It is so huge though. I like this one with the steep roof here. Nice little balcony. Oh, what? Oh, yeah. See, I was thinking maybe they're trying to camouflage it like a duck blind. Got some mallards. We weren't gonna bother you guys. I think we're in trouble. Google Maps. Does look pretty similar. The windows are similar. Yeah. I'm just happy it lasted long enough to switch my battery and card out. Yeah, it looks like it. I think so. Oh yeah. Really? Huh. It's like there's two ducks. Three? Oh no, that's not a chicken. It's like a female mallard. No, there's no chicken. The one that we thought was a chicken is a female mallard. And then there was another mallard over there too, so I think he might have been squawking at the other male. Said, leave my lady alone. She's not interested, Jack. Ought to be coming up on that boat ramp before too long for our takeout. I mean, we're getting up to the silos. It was just a little past the silos in moments. I'm hoping that I parked my truck in a position we'll be able to see it far enough away. Yeah, it is. I wonder if those windows are tinted like that, or if those are curtains or something that are... Yeah. Is that like a pretty common thing? Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Eskimo Men's Boat Club. Yeah. Yeah, that's why this is one of my favorites. I love all of that. And it's nice too. I've seen flowers out there that I don't see anywhere else, like little red things. Yeah, I love looking at all that. I had stopped one time. It was a bigger group that we were on this trip with, but I had got out on the bank because I saw a bunch of those flowers. I got up to them, taking pictures, all kinds of stuff. I was like, I'll catch up with you guys, you know. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely one of my favorites. And Rock Creek is very similar as far as like, you know, non-residential and, you know, the scenery and all of that. But again, I think they get special permissions from time to time to allow us to do that one. And that one's even got like little rapid sets, and for the most part it's pretty shallow, but it's a lot of fun to go through. And if you were wanting to like practice any of like the rapid maneuvers or stuff, you definitely get an opportunity. Mm-hmm. It's a nice trip. The water's pretty flat like this the whole way. And there's a string of islands that I like to try to lace with my kayak. But if the water's just right, you can zigzag in between the middle of them. And it's a lot of fun. Oh yeah? Yep. Yeah, that's a long paddle. Oh, nice. There was some on the side of the island that we were on. There was another 2 or 3 of those trees over there. Yeah. 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 And what are those? Like, what part of the plant or of the tree are they, or what purpose do they serve? Pods. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like those, and they smell so good. Yeah. Yeah. There's a big old goose. Couple big old geese. Yeah, does that look like a truck to you up there? Yep, that's our takeout. I think the current picked up a little bit when we were getting in, like dropping off our vehicles. It seemed like it got a little swifter up there, so it gets shallower too, but oh yeah, there he is. I think those are blue heron. Those things are so cool. Yep.